It has been nearly 600 days since dragon hunts were introduced to the game, and at the time they brought to it some of the best gear that you could ever get. So in this video we're going to cover, should you still be doing dragon hunts? Particularly as a newer player, is it something you should strive towards? Because that gear may very well still be very useful to you. It may be the only way you can get good gear before you end up jumping into master content where you need 70,000 plus item level and already a pretty good build and know what you're doing. Dragon hunts are a very simple way to get really good gear. You can unlock dragon hunts immediately. As soon as you're level 20, you grab the quest from Sergeant Knox and you can head over here. You will have to solo dragons. Yes, you might struggle initially, and well, that's a learning curve. Every class, even if they're fully naked, can defeat dragons. They do not need any special gear. There are things that you can use that would help, but it is by no means at all a requirement to run any fancy stuff. To start, you get on the hunt quest from Sergeant Knox and you just follow this. Prioritize it at the top here and follow your sparkly line, speak to your guys. What you will have to do initially is do a solo dragon, and then you will have to do 5 young dragons, and then you have the option of doing adult dragons, but you can do another 10 young dragons, and then you will unlock ancient dragons. Once you unlock ancient dragons, that's when you need a party of 5 and you want to group up and kill them. If you're on PC, what you can very simply do, type in your chat here /channel_join space dragon hunters. Once you do that, you can join that custom channel and it should pop up here for you. You click join it and then you should be able to select here to chat within that channel, and then you can find people to join. Otherwise, you're going to Protector's Enclave looking for a group channel, or you're going to your alliance and guild and asking them for help. So now you've unlocked ancient dragons. What you need now is your dragon hunt modifiers. You want to have death doors, easily irritated, limited conditioning, and resilience, because they will give you the certain dragon parts you need to get the gear. Ideally, get them upgraded to the max rank, and you will do that by farming those elemental strands, just killing enemies. They will drop every 30 seconds on a kill, and it will depend on which area you're in, depending on which type of those elemental strands you get. So you can just AFK farm like that to get them upgraded. And you need certain ones for the dragon parts. Then you need those dragon parts to get certain gear. And you can see that all here. You will also see it in game in the store. But the big gate, the big requirement is Dragon Hunter rank. You need certain ranks for certain gear pieces. And the big one is rank 100 for mythic armor. In order to get Dragon Hunter rank, you need to kill dragons. And it should display what you have here. However, as soon as you're rank 15, you need to start killing adult dragons. As soon as you're rank 50, you need to start killing ancient dragons. But I would recommend as soon as you've unlocked ancient dragons, just be killing those and using the certain modifiers you need for the gear you need. Keep in mind as well of the weekly haul. You can only get 80 ridges per week. Every time you kill an ancient dragon, you get 7 ridges. So you don't generally want to do more than 12 ancient dragons per week, or you're just kind of wasting your time because you won't get any more ridges which are required for all this gear. An easy way to skip a ton of the grind, particularly with the Dragon Hunter rank, is to get the campaign buyout Dragonslayer. You can get it from the Zen Market, or you can get it from the auction house from other players. What this will give you is Dragon Hunter rank 100 and the campaign completed. The campaign is kind of irrelevant. It gives you not really anything, but you get this pack which you need to open, and that gives you Dragon Hunter rank 100. You will get the ability to purchase one of the mythic armor pieces. For example, if we wanted the Mighty Chorus one, we'd need Decayed and these plates. So we go open this pack, get the plates, and then we open this one and get Decayed. And now we can purchase that mythic armor with just having spent 2000 Zen to get the buyout. And so, yeah, you can now buy that. There you go. That's your gear. Just be aware when you enter Dragon Hunts, you need to select this bench here to be able to select modifiers. And you will be wanting to go with 3 modifiers. Again, don't do like I did and upgrade all of them. That's pointless. You only want these hard ones and Death's Door. That's it. That'll give you every single reagent you'll ever need. You ready up with those, everybody else needs to ready up, and then those are set. And then you go over here and you fight them. Each one will be a little bit different. You have 5 different chromatic dragons. Each has different abilities. Try and avoid getting knocked around the place all the time, and you'll just need to learn. It'll be a bit of practice and they'll only get easier. So let's cover what gear should you be getting for a damage dealer, for a healer, and for a tank. What is the best stuff that you can still get from here? Well, we check our store, and first of all, as a damage dealer, I would get the ring, the Mighty Breaker's Ring of Clarity. Even if you're a ranged damage dealer, you generally will stay within 25 feet and you'll make the most of that ring. As for then in Ancient Dragons, you'll want to get the Soothsayer's Ring, and that's it. Those are your 2 best rings you can get. You'll want to get upgrades in Master Temple of the Spider, but you'll want to have these ones first. From the Master Temple of the Spider, you'll go to Demon Web Pits and get those rings. And from there, you can go to Master Moondancer Trial and get some rings from there. But in terms of gear, you'll be wanting to get the armor piece, the Mighty Curse of the Dragon Hunter. It's really good on all damage dealer classes. The only one would be Fighter and Barbarian, who can get an enchanted Bregan armor piece from the campaigns, Menzabranzan and the Demon Web Pits, that you can use as an alternative. Everybody else wants this one. For the headpiece, you'll want the Serene Hood. This is still best in slot. However, there is an upgrade you can get from the Master Demon Web Pits, but you'll want this one first. For the arms, the Mighty Vampiracers are decent, but not really a priority. You can get away just fine. It's just using the Seals of the Dragon arms here, giving you extra damage to your at-wills after you use the daily power. But otherwise, you would get these and you'd upgrade them with the Master Demon Web Pit ones. And for your boots, you could get the Sharp Long Boots. They will reduce your survivability, but the damage can be worth it. And it's like the best boots you're getting until you go to Master Demon Web Pits, unless you want to go back to Hardcore Vault of Stars and get the combat advantage boots from there. Skip the shirt and pants. You don't need those. You can get cheaper ones, higher item level, from just the Demon Web Pits, heroic encounters in that zone. The artifact sets will depend on your class. If you can use a lot of encounter powers, you can use the set, particularly the combat advantage one is useful, but with classes with big cooldowns, they're not great. So let's move on to a healer. What Dragon Hunter gear would you want to be getting? Well, in terms of armor, there's a few options. You can get the Tactful Leathers. They're useful on a heal over time healer, along with the Serene Mitts. Very good on a heal over time healer, along with the headpiece, Crit Strike. On a healer which isn't so much heal over time like Paladin, I would recommend this armor here with the outgoing healing, and you could get these boots, but as a healer I would recommend just going with the Seals of the Dragon boots. You're gonna get ones when you're in a party that give you 10,000 outgoing healing or crit, depending which healer you are. And as for the rings, again, you can go with the Soothsayer's Ring as on a healer, along with the Ring of Piety is okay on a healer. Again, skip the shirt and pants. You can get better ones elsewhere. And then the sets, I would also skip them as a healer. Then we move to tanks. What best in slot stuff can you get from here? Well, there's actually quite a lot. First of all, you have the ring, the Stalwart Needle Ring of Celerity. Very good. Still best in slot. But you can get the Dark Lake Ring from the auction house, which is more expensive with just a little bit more item level. Then for the armor, the Rugged Gear. This is still very much best in slot. The headpiece and the boots particularly. The armor here, I would get this until you can get the Master Demon Web Pits one. The arms are also pretty useful, and I'd just use them until you can get the Master Demon Web Pits ones. And that's about it. I wouldn't go getting any of the sets on a tank. They're usually just not worth the cost. Like the Awareness and Deflex Severity one is nice, but usually not that great because the uptime is annoying. You can animation cancel on particularly a paladin to maintain them, but the playstyle it's a bit more exhausting than it's worth. And you would be better off just going with the Valhalla set. It's very good, especially in scaled content where the item level doesn't matter anyway, and you're reducing the enemy's damage when they attack you. Just get all 3 pieces and you'd use it in any content. That is ultimately it for dragon hunts and what gear you should be getting. And it is still very, very valuable to run them to get that gear. You want to be optimizing your character to get good stats. You don't want to just be chasing item level. Dragon hunts again, you can jump in there. The item level requirement is only 18,000. So right away, as soon as you're level 20, you can start doing them. Start working on your young dragon hunts. You need to get 15 done, including the first tutorial one. And then you should unlock ancient dragons as long as you're picking up the quests as you go. You'll want to find some friends, some people to join you with that. Run some random queues. Talk to people. If you see somebody's missing like dragon hunt gear that they could be using, perhaps nudge them in the right direction and they might play with you. This game is a social game after all. You get great success from playing with others. Hopefully this was somewhat insightful to you guys, particularly newer players who don't know this. Again, it's been nearly over 600 days since this was introduced to the game, over a year and a half. Just be aware we don't know what's coming with Module 28. We could very well get some new hunts or something that might add in some good gear. But this information is valid now. Module 28, we won't know anything about it for another month or so. But keep yourself up to date. With that, a massive thank you to all of these channel members for their added support. And we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.